Well, hello there, Elevated Planet community. This is Jolé Gabrielle with John Drew, and we are coming live to you on this first Sunday in February. And John and I have a lot in store for you in regards to the unfoldment of 2024 and a meditation to transmute fear into action. And John will tell us a little bit more about it.
Yes, exciting times. Thank you. So yeah, welcome everybody. I'm glad you could join us. And today, as Jolé says, we're going to start to unfold a few of these things that we are talking about 2024 and beyond as being a crucial time for humanity that has been foretold for thousands of years. So it makes it very exciting, and it's the reason we're here on the planet right now is to experience this. But it's not always going to be an easy ride. So what we're trying to do here is give everybody a bit of a heads up and using the various sources of wisdom in it to stand on the shoulders of giants to help to elevate that wisdom and help to get everybody in the best mindset to stand on that eagle's perch and look at all the drama going down underneath, but not getting too drawn into it, not falling into fear, and using that transmutation of energy that Jolé helps us with to move out the stuff that doesn't serve us and bring in the stuff that does. And it's all what we're really focusing on today, the work of Dolores Cannon, and I am a big fan of Dolores. I think she's published, there's 19 books in her name totally. I think there's 17 before she died, and then 2 posthumously, one relatively recently, which almost is like 9 years after she passed. But her work is sheer genius. She was quantum healing hypnotic therapy is what she created. And it enabled her clients to go into a deep hypnotic somnambulistic trance, which is the deepest level of trance. So it completely moved out of the way the conscious mind, which is the blocker to a lot of information and wisdom that each of us holds. So what would come through the clients was amazing stuff. You know, it could have been past lives. It all started off as past lives, but then it progressed from there. And she was able to tap into the wisdom of galactic energies and so much more. And it was, it's a fascinating ride. Once you get into those books, there's no stopping you. So I totally recommend the books, but I think that, again, I think people know if it appeals to them, try it. I used to listen to a lot of the audio books. I got some of the physical books, but audio really works well for me. But I always recommend them. The book that we're talking about for today's video that we're going to show you in a moment is the book 3 of the Convoluted Universe series. There are 5 books in the Convoluted Universe series, and then there were another couple of books as well which were aligned to that, albeit they weren't that within that series. And this again is about the new Earth, but it's about the changes that happen on the planet. And as we talked about last week, February has been highlighted certainly by the Z's, the galactic entities that Lee Harris channels. We're talking about February onwards, and we know that Pam Gregory and Lisa Gunshaw last week were talking about April being another time where that energy then accelerates. So we're talking about very near future. So if we get this horribly wrong, we won't actually, in fact, it would be great if we do get it wrong, because at the end of the day, it means that life will continue as normal, and that's wonderful. So it's not like we're looking for chaos, but it seems as if most of these people that I've respected over these last few years, as I've really built into this work, are all singing from the same hymn sheet, right? So either everybody's got it wrong, or we can start to see changes happening very soon. So I'm thinking we'd go to that video like pretty much straight away, Jolly. But do you want to add anything to that before we do so?
No, I think that sums it up quite nicely, John.
Thank you. Right. In that case, without further ado, bear with me a second. And off we go. This is broken into 4 different parts here. So bear in mind that we'll be stopping after every 5-minute section.
Much turbulence is coming very soon. These words, drawn from the teachings of Dolores Cannon, serve as a powerful reminder of the transformative times we find ourselves in. It takes immense courage to fully grasp the magnitude of the changes unfolding on our planet and to embrace the role we've chosen to play in this cosmic drama. In this video, we will delve into the profound insights gleaned from Dolores Cannon's work in The Convoluted Universe, Book 3, and explore the implications of these teachings for our personal journeys and collective evolution. As we embark on this exploration, let us begin by acknowledging the brave souls who volunteered to incarnate on Earth during these tumultuous times. In the grand tapestry of existence, we are not mere spectators, but active participants in a cosmic transformation. Each one of us chose to leave the comfort of our spiritual abode to be here now, to be present during these monumental shifts in consciousness and energy. Why did we volunteer for this mission? What is the significance of these changes that have been alluded to? To comprehend these questions, we must first recognize that we are undergoing a profound shift in the very fabric of our reality. It is a shift not just in our external circumstances, but also in our internal vibrations and frequencies. The heart of the matter lies in the acceleration of energies and the elevation of vibrations that are sweeping across our dimension. These changes are not just abstract concepts, they are tangible forces reshaping our reality. But why are they happening, and what is their purpose? The essence of it all is that we are in the midst of a grand cosmic transition, a transformation so profound that it transcends the boundaries of human comprehension. This transition involves a multifaceted process encompassing the Earth's response to natural forces, human actions, and the arrival of new energies and beings that are beyond our conventional understanding. Much like a ship navigating through turbulent waters, we are now entering a phase of tremendous turbulence in our collective journey. The question is, are we prepared for what lies ahead? Do we possess the inner strength and grounding required to weather the storms that are fast approaching? It's easy to theorize about change and transformation when it remains a distant concept. But when these shifts start manifesting in our physical reality, the challenge becomes all too real. The crucial lesson here is that understanding and preparation are not enough. We must embody our wisdom when faced with the chaos of transformation. Picture a world in which people are disoriented, confused, and in profound pain. Imagine the upheaval caused by both natural calamities and the consequences of human actions. Envision the arrival of new energies completely unfamiliar to our current state of awareness. This scenario may sound overwhelming, but is precisely the reality we are moving towards. In these times of turbulence, those who have cultivated inner stability and a deep sense of grounding will emerge as beacons of light amidst the chaos. The magnitude of the task may be daunting, but it is also a profound opportunity for growth and service. It is our role to provide reassurance and support to those who find themselves lost and bewildered. But can we truly maintain our composure amidst such turmoil? Human nature often crumbles in the face of chaos, yet it is precisely in these moments that our presence and energy are most needed. It is not a matter of deciding whether others will listen to us or not. Instead, it is about becoming vessels of tranquility, embodying the calm amidst the storm, and radiating that stability to those around us. Think of yourself as a lighthouse, standing firm against the raging sea, guiding ships safely to shore. Your presence alone can make a world of difference to those who are struggling to find their way. Anne, one of the clients of Dolores Cannon, serves as an example of someone who has undergone the necessary training through life experiences to maintain calm amidst madness. Anne's childhood, marked by abusive and unstable parents, and her chaotic marriage were her training grounds. These trials have equipped her with the resilience required to navigate the turbulent waters of change. Her journey serves as a reminder that our past experiences, no matter how challenging, can prepare us for the roles we've chosen to fulfill in these transformative times.
Okay. Break number one. So what I wanted to add to that is that, the first question that gets asked there is about, did we volunteer to be here? because, you know, we don't remember volunteering is the bottom line. You don't remember volunteering to be here on Earth at some point in time pre-birth. But the bottom line is that nobody is here without their permission at a soul level. So that is one of the things that I have learned over the years. But of course, what happens is that when we're born, the veil of forgetfulness descends, and none of us are aware of the fact that we are immortal spirits having a human experience and that we can never die. And that kind of takes the pain away. Once you actually understand that to be true, then why would you be fearful about life? Okay, so that's one of the fundamental concepts, and I know people will struggle with that. I understand and I honor that because it's something that took me many years to get my head around. I've been on this journey for less than 6 years myself, and I was a complete left brainer and didn't believe any of this nonsense. However, now I'm fully invested in it, and I kind of like have learned so much, and I'm so grateful for that learning because I feel great. It kind of, you know, I enjoy life more than I ever have done now because I understand so much more about what I believe is going on in the world. So what is happening? Well, we're seeing an elevation of vibrations, and we are all energy vibrating at a specific frequency. That is what makes us who we are. And each one of us is unique in that vibrational frequency. And the frequency of the planet is rising right now. And the interesting thing is that we are all effectively, our bodies are all part of the planet. Therefore, as the Earth's frequency rises, and we can see that in the Schumann resonance, which is that heartbeat of the planet, which has been rising since the 1980s, to a point where we can evidence scientifically that vibrational frequencies are rising. And there has been proof that our heart energy and our vibrational frequency of that energy is aligned to the planet. So we are going through changes, and we can actually prove that to be true. So we have to decide individually whether we are ready to follow or to choose at a subconscious level that we need to stay at the vibrational level of the old 3D Earth, because there will be a choice. For those who are not yet ready to step up to those higher frequency energies, which the higher frequency energies are all about, you know, the unconditional love, empathy, forgiveness, passion, empowerment, integrity, all these kind of good things. But you know, the world around us does not encourage us necessarily to live our life in those emotions. It is completely possible, but it's not easy when you're confronted with a lot of the realities going on the planet right now. We talk about tumultuous times, and what will that look like? Well, the list as I've put it here, you know, I see natural disasters as certainly going to be part of this, I believe. Extreme weather patterns. We have those unstable geomagnetics this year, the solar flares. We know that as a fact. Just check it out on scienceweather.com. It's peaking in 2024 and 2025, but mainly 24, I believe. Now, what else could happen? Well, definitely the war energy is high, and we're seeing more of that happening all the time at the moment, unfortunately. We could see biological warfare if the next pandemic is released. You see the division energy that gets this happens particularly. You saw this with COVID, where you get populations effectively to turn against each other. So, you know, beware of these things, because, you know, we do not have to be drawn into these things. More revelations about hidden truths, lies, and corruption. Maybe even the staged false flag alien invasion that Stephen Greer talks about, which would have the ARVs, the alien reproduction vehicles that have been created secretly that look like proper flying saucers and the likes, and we would be very difficult for the man in the street to not believe that they're being invaded by aliens, and having hybrid beings that have been bred in captivity effectively in certain military bases as well. All sounds fantastical. I have many, I mean, as well as Dolores Cannon, there's so many people written about this. So I would always urge you to explore it for yourself and to be discerning. Don't take my word for it. Check it out for yourselves. Then finally, the other possibility is the arrival of our galactic chums on the planet. And certainly Wendy Kennedy, who channels the Pleiadians for the last 30 years, was talking about 2026 as being a time when the Pleiadians will become more visible to certain people on the planet who are ready for it. But for the rest of humanity by 2029, because by then everybody will be familiar with the fact that, you know, the human species is just one species of many out there across the universe. Yeah, I say all that, and of course you get your money back guarantee if I get it wrong. So that is me on section 1. Jolé, what would you like to add?
Just that, we hear these things and our first thing we want to do is contract, right? But as John said, we signed up for this experience. And if we begin to sort of understand how our body works and how our soul architecture works, we can really empower ourselves and flow downstream with all of this. And what does that look like? That means that you're sort of got a hedge around you and you're protected. And the things that are going on in the world, you're able to sort of either avoid or do better, instead of falling down the rabbit hole. So that's what we wish to help you develop, or I do, John and I, a skill set to make that happen.
Wonderful. Yeah, well said, Jolé. And yes, that is very much as I see Jolé's role here, is to be our person who can help us to transmute energies from the stuff that doesn't serve us to the stuff that does. So yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Right. The next part 2, here we go.
Now, let's address the concept of the two earths, a topic that has been widely discussed in spiritual and metaphysical circles. According to the teachings, we are indeed moving towards a separation into two earths, the old earth and the new earth. The old earth represents the familiar world, where the majority cling to their existing belief systems and vibrational frequencies. This reality will continue to exist for those who choose to remain in it or are not yet ready to embrace the changes. The old energies and paradigms will persist, but they will no longer be the dominant force in the universe. Conversely, the new earth signifies a higher vibrational state, a dimension where individuals have aligned their energies with the accelerating frequencies of transformation. It is a world where old limitations and paradigms no longer hold sway, where new possibilities and potentials become accessible. However, this transition is not without its challenges, as turbulence and chaos will be experienced on both the old and new earth. The turbulence on the old earth arises from the dismantling of belief systems, societal structures, and the awakening of individuals to truths that were previously concealed. It's important to recognize that this turbulence is not limited to external factors, such as natural disasters or political upheavals. It is equally driven by the resistance of those in power who refuse to relinquish control and acknowledge the changing tides. Their attempts to maintain fear-based manipulation are evident in the propagation of fictitious threats like diseases and conflicts. Fear, as a tool of control, has been deeply embedded in human societies for ages. It is the means by which individuals have been kept in check, their power diminished, and their minds enslaved. But as the energies of transformation surge, fear is being brought to the surface, exposed, and confronted. The media and entertainment industries have long played a role in perpetuating fear by focusing on negative and sensationalized content. Yet, in the age of information and connection, these fear-based narratives are losing their grip on the collective consciousness. People are beginning to think for themselves, questioning the stories they've been told and the realities they've accepted. This awakening process is not without its challenges, as individuals are confronted with their own fears and demons. Nevertheless, it is a necessary step toward liberation. Conflicts, diseases, and other fabricated threats are tools employed by those in power to instill fear and maintain control. While these threats may exist as energetic potentials, they are often blown out of proportion to serve an agenda. It is crucial to discern between the exaggerated narratives presented by the media and the actual realities we face. As individuals awaken to the truth, they reclaim their power and release the shackles of fear. It is a cleansing process akin to purging the toxins from one's system. However, those in power are resistant to this transformation, desperately clinging to their illusions of control. They will continue to employ fear-based tactics until they reach an extreme, pushing humanity to make a choice. This is where our role as grounded and stable beings becomes paramount. We are not here to decide for others or impose our truths upon them. Instead, we are here to provide a source of calm amidst the storm, a beacon of reassurance for those in confusion. Our mere presence can be a lifeline for individuals on the verge of making a vibrational leap. Imagine the chaos that may ensue when the illusions that have shaped people's lives are shattered. Picture a world where individuals are running in the streets, gripped by fear, their belief systems in ruins. It is a scenario reminiscent of natural disasters on a global scale, multiplied manifold. The turbulence we are discussing is not limited to external events. It encompasses the inner turmoil of individuals as they confront the dissolution of their long-held beliefs. In many ways, this inner chaos can be more disorienting than external calamities. Yet, amidst this chaos, there exists a profound opportunity for those who have chosen to be here now. We are called to be present and ready, like soldiers lining up for a mission. Our mission is to maintain our grounded energy, to stand firm in our truth, and to extend a hand to those who teeter on the precipice of vibrational choice.
Okay, end of part 2. So yeah, talking there about this Earth split, which this is the new Earth scenario where it splits into this idea that there's a 3D Earth and a 5D Earth, third dimensional Earth, which kind of continues as is at the moment, then the fifth dimensional Earth, which is the high frequency energy Earth. And it seems very strange about how could you have a planetary split like that. And in fact, I did locate an area of book 3 of Dolores Cannon that actually explains this from Dolores's perspective. And if we have time, we will go to that, but we're going to reserve that because it depends how we do for timing. So there's, when it comes to the new Earth, there's a lot of talk about it. We've talked about it before. It's in the Bible, in the book of Revelation, John chapter 21, 22, new heaven, new earth, and all that. And certainly in the Dead Sea Scrolls, which were uncovered in the 1950s, that came from the Essene community, which existed certainly 2,500 years ago. And there was talk in amongst the Dead Sea Scrolls as well about this time of transition. So fear as a tool of control, that has been around for the longest time. Now we talk about this as being around for generations. And when I listened to, again, the Z's, the Galactic Collective, they were talking about this being deeply embedded, and it really began 11,000 years ago, which was kind of, I suppose, at the time immediately following Atlantis. And that fear has been instilled into society ever since and used as that tool for control. And the last 800 years has been the most recent cycle of that, effectively enslaving the population through fear in its many forms. So it's now being exposed and confronted and released. And this, again, is where Jolé's guided meditations help us. And the mainstream media. Part of our problem with this at the moment is that where do we go for our version of reality? Well, mainstream media forms a big part of that. Certainly the governments form another part. Now, the mainstream media, as they say, will lose their grip on collective consciousness because now things like YouTube and various other forms of people being able to tell their version of the truth gives you alternative perspectives. Now, you, of course, use your discernment to decide who you believe, and don't take anybody's word for it. Research it for yourself, satisfy yourself, because you may decide that what we say is deluded nonsense, and if you decide that, that is fine, but do so from a position of strength where you've actually checked these things out and made that decision. So anyway, diseases to be blown out of proportion is something, again, that Dolores talked about a lot, and she predicted the COVID side of things, and she was talking back in something like 2006 or 2008 about the pandemic as it would come to be, and that came through her clients on that in that somnambulistic trance to talk about that, and it's all logged in her books as one of those things that really did come to pass, much like the Twin Towers and the attack on the Pentagon. So anyway, that's all I have to say on part 2. So Jolé, can I bring you in?
Absolutely. It was just, I'm listening to you when you talked about, maybe the blowout of some illness and dis-ease, coming to mankind. And my thing is this, or I just like to put on the table and to think about it, is when we know who we are and we follow a moral code, ethics, whatever, that keep our free will at peace, at times these things have a tendency to come and then just roll right off our back. So if we stay in our own energy and vibration and frequency of, you know what, I'm stronger than this, I'm going to follow the rules and protect myself, but at the same time, I'm going to continue to live my life, because the powers that be, whoever they may be, right?
Yeah.
Want to keep us sort of reaching externally for things, because to consume means that we're controlled. So once we can take our power back and realize, whatever mainstream media is telling me, let me do my research, let me bring it inside and see if that resonates with me, or is this just fear mongering, and make my moves from there. But oftentimes I've seen relationships ruined. I've seen people really go into a panic behind this so-called pandemic, when in all actuality, follow the rules, to the best of your ability, allow for the God in you to resonate, and continue to live your life in a state of like non-fear, of confidence that you're going to be okay.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's really well said again. And I think that will launch us nicely into part 3. So here we go.
What do we mean by either / or in this context? It refers to a crucial moment in an individual's spiritual growth. There may come a time when a soul stands at the crossroads of vibrational evolution. They may have the opportunity to ascend to a higher vibration, provided they summon the courage to take the leap. Alternatively, they may choose to remain in their current vibrational state. Our role in such moments is to be the hand extended to those souls who contemplate the leap into higher consciousness. We become the catalysts for their ascension, the bridge between their old and new selves. It is a profound act of service, one that can alter the course of a soul's journey. The higher vibration, the new earth, is not exempt from turbulence. It is crucial to dispel the misconception that the new earth is a utopian paradise free from challenges. It is simply a different vibrational frequency, a realm where individuals have aligned themselves with the energies of transformation. The turbulence experienced on the new earth is of a different nature. It is not the chaotic dismantling of belief systems, but rather the exploration of new frontiers of consciousness. The challenges faced here are growth-oriented, as individuals adapt to a higher vibrational existence. The teaching emphasizes that the chaos we are discussing is just the beginning of a much larger process. The events and upheavals we witness today are precursors to a deeper transformation that will unfold in the coming years. This transformation has been prophesied by many, and while we may not add much to those prophecies, our role in this process is of paramount importance. We are living in a time of unprecedented change, where the very fabric of our reality is being rewoven. As the structure of governments crumbles and societal safety nets unravel, individuals will find themselves in uncharted territory. The comforts of social security, stable paychecks, and conventional jobs may no longer be guaranteed. The analogy of a domino effect is apt here. As one piece falls, it triggers a cascading sequence of events. Similarly, the breakdown of societal structures will create a domino effect of transformation, challenging individuals to adapt to a new way of life. Consider the scenario of natural disasters magnified on a global scale. These disasters, whether triggered by natural forces or human actions, will be among the catalysts of chaos. Some of these events may be beyond our control, while others may be instigated by those in power who resist the changing tides. The resistance of those in power is a crucial aspect of the turbulence we face. Like a child refusing to accept the truth, they cling to their old ways and attempt to perpetuate fear to maintain control. They are driven by the desperate belief that by sowing fear, they can slow down the process of change. It is imperative to understand that fear has been a central tool of control in human societies for countless generations. Fear is the currency by which many have maintained power and dominance. It exists in varying degrees across all societies, creating a pervasive atmosphere of unease. These changes we speak of are not merely external events, but shifts in the very consciousness of humanity. The emergence of new energies, new information, and new possibilities has rattled the foundations of the old world order. The fear-based systems that once held sway are unraveling, and people are awakening to a new reality. The advent of technology and global communication has played a pivotal role in this awakening. It has allowed individuals to access information, connect with like-minded souls, and challenge the narratives propagated by those in power. The fear that was once hidden beneath the surface is now rising to be addressed and released. The process of transformation is akin to a cleansing. It brings to the surface the fears and issues that have long been dormant within individuals and society as a whole. These issues, whether on a personal or collective level, must be confronted and transmuted for the energy to flow freely.
Okay, there we go. End of part 3. So, the act of service that is described within part 3 is effectively what Elevated Planet is all about. But we do honor everyone's free will, whether you choose to accept this as truth or deluded nonsense. That is right for you. The transformation to unfold is coming over years, over the next few years. But how many years is a very obvious question. 2024 is when it begins. But according to the Z's, they were talking about this next cycle being a 5 to 10 year cycle of change. So that takes you up, say, for 2034 at the very top end of that. And a lot of it, again, depends how this thing all plays out. Now, also, Chris Stiles, who we had the interview with in recent times as well, always also talked about once you get into the 2030s, the energy changes. So that means we've got still 6 years left in the 2020s. So, that kind of aligns with where the Z's are as well. So I think we're talking 2030s before things really start to improve. But that transformation takes place then over several decades because, this is a new beginning, if you like. So it's going to be very interesting times. Governments will be realigned within real democracies, as opposed to what we have at the moment, that serve the will of the people. And rather than perpetuating the will of what I would describe as the puppet masters, those who control. Now, I don't think that our governments are actually in control of this. I've got to say it goes higher than that and deeper than that, because if this control element has been around for, say, hundreds of years, say thousands of years, then clearly it's not your elected government that's actually pulling the strings. So there are puppet masters out there who really are in control of this thing. Societal breakdown, chaos, jobs to go, and the way that life functions at the moment will be completely different. And I think this is why it's important to have a heads up on this, because if it turns out to be deluded nonsense, then fine, okay, we'll get out there and stand up to be countered. But the fact is that, if this turns out to have validity, and you will know very soon, then this is all about time to build the new. But we will have help from other entities as well. I believe that will come to the forefront once we have got through this first stage. And that will help us to catapult us up the evolutionary scale, despite these near-term challenges of this domino effect that is talked about here. So I believe that the puppet masters have had their day. Low frequency energies will be confronted and transmuted, and Jolé will help us in that regard. And talking of whom, Jolé, what do you think?
Yes, I do believe it's very important to raise the frequency now. Now is the time. And I know that we keep giving you these predictions, or, we're also absorbing them as well. But at the same time, it's sort of us trying to keep us ahead of the 8 ball and to let us know that there's going to be fear. There may be gnashing of teeth. All of the things that you've heard may be unfolding now, but you can step into a whole different energy and vibration. And that's why we're here. And hopefully we can help you do that.
Fantastic. Thank you, Jolé. Okay, let's crack on. The final part.
Blockages, whether they stem from karmic issues or self-induced diseases, are being brought to the surface by the surge of new energies. These blockages represent areas of resistance within individuals that inhibit their vibrational growth. They manifest as physical symptoms, diseases, and emotional challenges. This process is not gentle. It is akin to a storm within the soul, shaking loose the debris of old wounds and unresolved issues. It is an opportunity for profound healing and growth, but it requires active participation from individuals. They must be willing to address the root causes of their blockages and release the energies that no longer serve them. In essence, these symptoms and challenges are manifestations of the acceleration of energies and the elevation of vibrations. They are signs of the profound shifts occurring within us and around us. It is a reminder that we are in the midst of a grand transformation, and our bodies and minds are adjusting to these new frequencies. As we navigate this turbulence, we may encounter resistance from those who are deeply entrenched in the old paradigms. They may react with fear, anger, or denial when confronted with new truths. It is essential to approach these interactions with compassion and understanding. We cannot force others to see the world as we do or to embrace the changes unfolding. Each soul has its own journey and its own timing. Our role is not to convince or convert, but to be a living example of the higher frequencies we embody. In the face of resistance, we can ask ourselves, how can I be a source of love and light in this situation? We can choose to respond with kindness and empathy, even in the face of hostility. It is in these moments of grace that we have the greatest potential to inspire change. The turbulence we are experiencing is a reflection of the collective shadow coming to the surface. It is the unveiling of long-buried wounds, both individually and collectively. It is an opportunity to heal and integrate these aspects of ourselves. As we confront the darkness within, it is essential to remember that it is not something to be feared or rejected. The shadow is a part of us, and it holds valuable lessons and insights. It is through the process of embracing and transforming our shadow that we can fully embody the light. The turbulence also serves as a catalyst for awakening. But awakening can be a challenging and disorienting process. It can feel like we are losing our footing in a world that no longer makes sense. It can be tempting to retreat into old patterns or seek refuge in distractions. In these moments of doubt and confusion, we can remind ourselves of our purpose and our mission. We can ask ourselves, why did I choose to be here now? What is the higher purpose behind the turbulence I am experiencing? These questions can help us realign with our soul's path and find meaning in the chaos. The teachings emphasize the importance of staying connected to our intuition and inner guidance. To connect with our intuition, we must cultivate a sense of inner quiet and stillness. We must learn to trust the subtle nudges and insights that arise from within. It is in these moments of inner knowing that we can find clarity and direction. In times of turbulence, it is easy to become overwhelmed by external events and lose sight of our inner strength. It is essential to remember that we are not victims of circumstance. We are co-creators of our reality. We have the power to shape our experiences through our thoughts, beliefs, and intentions. As we navigate this turbulence, we are called to be grounded, resilient, and connected to our inner guidance. We are invited to cultivate physical, emotional, and mental well-being, as well as to deepen our spiritual connection. We have a unique role to play in this transition to a new earth where higher frequencies of love and unity prevail. We are the stabilizing force amidst the chaos, the beacons of light and love who can offer guidance and support to those in confusion and fear. Our journey is not without challenges, but it is a journey of profound meaning and purpose. It is a journey of awakening to our true nature as spiritual beings and co-creators of our reality. In the face of uncertainty, let us remember that we are not alone. We are supported by a vast network of spiritual guides, higher beings, and cosmic forces. We are part of a greater tapestry of existence, and our individual choices and actions have a ripple effect on the collective consciousness. Together, we can shape a world that reflects the highest aspirations of the human spirit and the divine potential within us all.
Okay, there we have it. So, okay, part 4. Blockages. Again, this is Jolé's area of expertise for those willing to embrace the opportunity to break out of the old paradigm and to get rid of those energies that no longer serve. So, and again, you can understand for those who are unable to make the shift up to the higher frequencies that are required, this fear stuff that is going to go on, you can understand why people would find anger, fear, resentment, maybe the response. And for us, yes, it's important from taking that eagle's perch perspective. So we respond with compassion and understanding. And it's not a case of fighting the old, we simply build the new. To be a sanctuary for those who want to be part of our global community, where all are equal, all are honored, and we rebuild our communities to be in service to each other, finding inner peace regardless of the external influences, which is why we created Nos Populi, We the People, which will go on and build as this year unfolds, I don't doubt. So that is what I have to say on there. So Jolé, I will hand over to you. In fact, what I'm going to do is going to stop share on this as well. So
fantastic. So, you know, one of the things I just like to make aware, all of us aware, is that fear is usually something like sadness and anger turned inward, or anger turned inward, which creates sadness, which then propagates fear. And it really comes from a place of unknowingness and denial. So throughout this meditation, I want to go ahead and show you where fear, maybe the nexus of fear or the core fear resides, and moves throughout our body, so we can maybe learn how to get rid of it and then fill up with something new, so that we have transmutation, meaning turning fear into action. Fear manifests as cognitive dissonance, immobility, and then from there we fail to take action. So let's go ahead and transmute that into courage. All right, so are we ready, John? All right, as always, I want to say thank you so much for this opportunity. And if you will just follow my words, and if you go to sleep or you find yourself drifting off, no worries, as your higher self will be getting all of this, and you will get all of the benefits as well. So as always, feet flat on the floor, palms face up on your thighs. Go ahead and close your eyes if you're comfortable. Bring your awareness to your chest and begin to breathe with the rhythm of your body. For those of you laying down, please keep your feet flat on the floor, or on the bed rather. Bend your knees, put your feet flat for the beginning of this meditation. As you breathe with the rhythm of your body, command your heartbeat to sync up with your breath, bringing your body into a state of calm. I like to call it stasis, but it's more of a balance. As we then bring our awareness to between our sit bones, and we generate, imagine, create a grounding cord, 6 inches in diameter, as it moves through the chair or whatever we're sitting and laying on, and down through Mother Earth, that travels at the speed of love, roots itself, and then Mother Earth in kind begins to wrap her beautiful copper wire of nurturing love around the grounding cord, your grounding cord, so that there's this alternating current. As you send down the fear, down this portal, this grounding cord, Mother Earth recycles it, sends your energy back to you, and the rest into the earth to be turned into positive creative life force energy for anyone to use. While this is going on, I want you to pull your aura in to be 1.5 feet around you. Call your higher self above you and snap in your astral body. Your astral body is feet and feet, knees and knees, hips and hips, hands and hands, elbows and elbows, shoulder in shoulder, head and head, fitting inside of you like a hand fits inside of a glove. Clean off your grounding cord. Open your crown like you would the lens of a camera. Put a golden sun above your head. Bring that down, allow it to fill up the cranium. All of those folds, synapses, neurons, as it focuses itself down the vertebra, and then it goes down, cascading down the grounding cord, bringing you into the present moment. Watch as this golden sun, its essence liquefies and then begins to go down your grounding cord like rivers of a living waterfall. All the way down to the roots, any excess goes into Mother Earth. As you then bring your awareness between your sit bones, your first chakra. Now here is the seat of your safety, security, and financial prosperity. When this is out of alignment, we're feeling an overwhelming sense of fear. And this fear, although its nexus is here, it begins to radiate out into the body, which then begins to block us, causing different diseases and illness, such as pain in our joints, cognitive dissonance, meaning two conflicting thoughts in our mind at the same time, which then shuts us down and clouds our purpose. So let's go ahead and bring our awareness to that part of our stomach, beneath the belly button. And I want you to feel your feelings there. Get out of denial for this very moment, this one moment in time, about the things that you need to do, where you are fearful and there's a lack of courage or engagement or execution in this way so that you reach your goal, or that you're of your word, doing the things you say you're going to do. This causes turbulence in our lives. And once we can excavate this and deal with it, we will find that that external turbulence dies down. So let's go ahead and take a moment and look at these things. And the least we could do is command that any genetic, generational, historical, ancestral curses, spells, agreements, or contracts that may have been made and created blocks be resolved and dissolved in this moment. So we send that energy down into Mother Earth. We turn it a color, a bright red or green. If it doesn't work, you might want to identify it that way. If the energy just doesn't move itself down, work with it, work with your energy. Send that down the grounding cord. Watch it. I turn mine a neon green. And I watch as this essence moves down that grounding cord as I put a golden sun above my head, open my crown, if it's not already, and I bring that golden sun down and have it chase all of that energy, resolving and dissolving it, and turning it into nothingness. So let's get rid of any excuses we may have where our mom did this to us, our dad, or we were like this, my dad's an alcoholic. No, all of that goes down, removing and resolving any of the dissonance in the body. Keep our mind, body, and spirit sober as we put another golden sun above our head. And we let that marinate as we go throughout our body and identify the fear that we may be holding between our shoulder blades. Turn it a bright red or neon green. In our throat, maybe we feel our ears tingling. We're having fear there. Any place that we feel our body making itself known is where we are holding fear. Maybe in our hands, in our glutes, in our knees, in our thighs. Wherever you're feeling this energy, of fearfulness, of denial, of fear follow through, being of your word. Turn it a color. Put a golden sun, that golden sun that's already there marinating. Fill it up with self-love. See the Creator do that. Take a deep breath in, exhale. As you hold the space, watch this happen. Every single drop of fear you may be holding within your body, your mind, and your spirit. Turn it a bright color. Light it up as that golden sun just begins to fill up with self-love, divine essence. And now I would like for you to flush all of that fear down your grounding cord and out of your body, and then fill up with that golden sun in those spaces and those places. As that excess golden sun chases all that fear energy down, watch it go down into Mother Earth, sizzle, turn into positive creative life force energy. As the rest of it comes up your alternating current back into your body as courage, as action, as execution. Put another golden sun above your head. Bring that down and allow it to fill you up and push out into your aura layer and the rest of it down the grounding cord, lighting you up into a high frequency of a gold conducting energy of love, compassion, and forgiveness, so that you may also recycle negative energy into positive energy by staying into the present moment and sitting in the solution. Take a deep breath in, exhale. Bring your awareness back into the center of your chest. Take another deep breath in, exhale. As you close down your crown, take a deep breath in, exhale. And when you are ready, you can open your eyes.
Thank you, Jolé. That was beautiful. It's nice to
It's
be.
never, I'm sorry to interrupt you, John, but I just wanted to let our meditators know that it's simple. It is very simple, to continue to practice this. Sometimes we think it's very complex, but connect with your breath and visualize health and wellness. It begins there.
This is one of the things that I think is really going to come to light over this next decade, is how much power and control we actually have over our own physical bodies, our own wellness. But again, because we have spent an entire lifetime to be told to look outside of ourselves for the solution, and certainly, that can be important as well. But nevertheless, we have so much power, and we have so many healers now as well, who are here to bring special energies. And you're one of them, Jolé. So grateful to have you here with us at Elevated Planet, helping us to align our energies for the challenges that are coming up. So, it's exciting times.
And always remember, challenges can be opportunities most of the time.
Absolutely.
So if we can get them as opportunities to grow, like we said, then the solution will appear.
Exactly. That's what I keep up here on my little list of mantras: to see setbacks as the opportunities for personal growth that they truly represent.
Wow.
So I have this stuff all around me, just like, oh yeah, keep drawing it in. But yeah. No, it's beautiful. So in terms of timing, I would love to do the Dolores thing, but I think we're going to run short of time, really, because I need at least, I'd say, 6 minutes to run that. So I think what I might do, certainly for next week or the week after, whichever we deign to be most appropriate, is I'm going to go through book 3 and actually pull out the relevant parts of what Dolores actually said, because I love these videos that we use. I think the way the energy it puts across, and I know it's an AI voice, and I know there's certain words that get a little bit jumbled because it's an AI voice, But nevertheless, the message is what it's really all about, and the message is deep and profound, and it is based off Dolores' teachings. But we can bring a little bit of Dolores in as well directly to show us or to demonstrate what she got directly from her clients, which I think is really quite powerful. So I'm going to work my way through that and decide which bits are going to be quite relevant. And we can have a discussion about that next week, Jolé. What do you think?
Absolutely. Let's do it.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, so for the weekly, we'll go out tomorrow and include this recorded version of the live, and the usual kind of things will be on there, included the guided meditation, including part 4 of Chris Stiles' Human Futurologist outlook for the times ahead, which is really quite interesting. Again, touches a lot upon the USA in this particular one. But not just confined to that. So, check it out. It's a fascinating series. It's part 4 of a 7-part series. So there you go. It's not just Netflix that do these things. We're up there with them. So, okay. All right, Jolé, are we done?
Yes, we are. Thank you so much to the Elevated Planet community and to you, John. This is truly an honor.
Yeah, likewise, Jolé. Thank you to you too. And again, I second those thoughts as well to our community. So much love and light, and we will see you in a week's time. And till then, have a fantastic week. Goodbye.
Goodbye.